Most investors start with the share price. I prefer to start with the business, because if you don't understand how a company actually makes money, how strong it really is, and what the risks are, the share price on its own doesn't tell you very much. And in a lot of ways, this all comes back to one timeless investing question. Is this a wonderful business, and is it available at a fair price? I didn't invent that idea. I'm learning from investors like Warren Buffett and trying to apply those principles in a clear, practical way to ASX companies. So in this video, I want to show you the exact framework I use here on ASX Desk. And once you understand it, every future deep dive on the channel will make a lot more sense. A quick bit of context first. I'm not a professional analyst or fund manager. I'm just someone who genuinely enjoys digging into ASX companies, reading annual reports, going through the numbers, building charts, and trying to work out what's really going on beneath the headlines. For a long time, I kept all of that to myself. ASX Desk is my way of sharing it. And for now, I use AI narration so I can focus on producing the research clearly and consistently. Also, just to be clear, this channel is for education only. It's not financial advice. At the highest level, I'm really trying to answer one simple question. Is this a strong business, and is the market asking too much for it? That is basically my practical version of the Buffett idea, a wonderful business at a fair price. To answer that, I break the analysis into 7 categories: growth, quality, Moat, Runway, balance sheet, valuation, and management. Each one gives me a different angle on the business, and when you put them together, they help you separate the companies that just look exciting from the ones that are actually worth serious attention. Before I score anything, there's one step I always do first. I need to understand the business properly. That means 3 things. First, what does the company actually do? Not the polished investor relations version, the real version. How does it make money day to day? Who are the customers, and what problem is it solving for them? Second, what kind of industry is it in? Is it growing or mature? Is competition intense or more contained? And how hard is it to win and keep customers? Third, what does the business model look like in practice? Is it subscription revenue, transaction fees, one-off sales, licensing? This also connects to another Buffett-style idea. Stay inside your circle of competence. If I can't explain the business simply, I'm probably not ready to analyze the stock. This part doesn't get a score, but it gives context to everything that comes next. The first scored category is growth, and the question here is simple. Is the business actually getting bigger? I usually start with 5-year revenue and profit growth because 1 year can be noisy. 5 years tells you much more about the direction of travel. I also check whether growth is organic or acquisition-driven. That matters because buying growth is very different from earning growth through a stronger core business. And I always look at earnings per share, not just revenue, so dilution doesn't get ignored. So what I'm really asking is growth real? Is it durable? And is it still moving in the right direction? Buffett was never interested in growth just for the sake of growth. Growth only matters if it creates real value for shareholders. Next is quality, because growth on its own can be misleading. A company can grow quickly and still be a poor business if the economics underneath are weak. So here, I look at things like margins, returns on capital, and free cash flow conversion. Margins can tell you a lot about efficiency and pricing power. Returns on capital can tell you whether the business is actually creating value. And cash flow matters because profits on paper do not always turn into real cash. So what I'm really asking is this company growing in a healthy way, or is the growth story hiding weakness underneath? A high-quality business usually has something Buffett has always liked, the ability to generate strong returns without constantly needing huge amounts of new capital. The third category is Moat. This is usually the most interesting part of the analysis. The key question is simple. Why can't a competitor just come in and take the customers? That moat might come from switching costs. It might come from network effects or cost advantages, regulation, brand strength, or deep product expertise. Not every company has a moat, and not every moat is equally strong. What I really want to know is whether the moat is strengthening or weakening, because a strong moat getting stronger is extremely valuable, and a moat slowly eroding is one of the easiest things to miss if you only focus on headline numbers. This is also very Buffett. He has talked for decades about the value of a durable competitive advantage. The fourth category is Runway. Here, I'm asking, how much room does this company still have to grow? A business with a big market opportunity and low current penetration may still have a long path ahead of it. A business that has already captured most of its markets may have much less room left. I also pay attention to contracted pipeline, especially in software and enterprise businesses, because signed customers can point to future revenue before it fully shows up in the numbers. So Runway is really about future growth potential, not just current performance, because even a great business needs room to keep compounding. The fifth category is the balance sheet, and this is really about risk. Even a great business can become a bad investment if the balance sheet is stretched. So I look at debt levels, leverage, interest coverage, and when that debt actually matures, because there's a big difference between manageable debt and dangerous debt. This part of the framework keeps me honest. It stops me from getting so excited about the business that I ignore financial risk. And that fits Buffett's mindset too. Avoid situations where one bad stretch can permanently damage the investment case. Then we get to valuation, and this is where a lot of investors get tripped up. A great business does not automatically mean a great stock. You can absolutely have an excellent company that is simply priced too aggressively. So when I get to valuation, I'm comparing it against a few things: peers, history, growth, and cash generation. Metrics like EV to EBITDA and price to free cash flow help, but the deeper question is always the same. What expectations are already built into this share price? Because sometimes the real risk is not that the business is bad, it's that the market is already assuming too much success. And this is where the second half of the Buffett idea really matters. It's not just about finding a wonderful business, it's also about asking whether you're paying a fair price for it. The seventh category is management, and a lot of retail investors skip this, but it matters. I look at insider ownership, capital allocation, incentives, and governance. Do management decisions create value over time? Do they reinvest well? Are incentives aligned with shareholders? And are there any warning signs that deserve attention? Buffett has always placed huge importance on management quality, especially honesty, discipline, and capital allocation. Great management won't save a bad business, but weak management can absolutely damage a good one. So once I've worked through those 7 categories, I score each one and pull them together into an overall view. Now, does this framework predict the future perfectly? Of course not. That's not the point. The point is to think about businesses clearly, consistently, and with less noise. That's the real goal of ASX Desk. I didn't invent the wheel here. I'm learning from some of the best investing ideas out there, especially Buffett's focus on business quality, competitive advantage, management, and price, and then trying to apply those ideas in a structured way to ASX companies. If you want to see the framework in action, the WiseTech video is the first full example on the channel. And if there's another ASX company you'd like me to dig into, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.